Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today's build and play guide is on Kid. It is in the shop currently on discount, but I haven't done a build and play guide on this ship. Outside of AI matches, I think I only have the one match in this. So you guys are gonna see that one match. That being said, we're using Vincent Mordoff with Eric Bay at Jersey Swirsky. You could go with Sims and Bay if you wanted, or I'm going double detect because it has a heal. It makes the torpedoes slightly usable. We'll get into the ship here in a second, but Waste Not is his base trait. We're using Observant Range. Look at me now. Perceptive, Sheltered Arms, and Unstoppable. Also, Halsey works really well for this ship as well. For your upgrades, we're using Aiming Systems Mod 1. Prop and Concealment is always in 2 and 3. Uh, so if you guys don't know, Kid is a Fletcher class destroyer. I always hear people say this is a Mahan. It is not a Mahan. This is a Fletcher, guys. Um, that being said, it's a Fletcher with one less torpedo rack, and the torpedoes aren't that great. That's essentially really what it is. It's very good at the tier. Smokes, it has uh, two really solid smokes. And two heals, which is really cool about this ship. And they heal, let's see, 28 times 81, somewhere right under 2,300 health. So that's why I'm not using Sims to get the detection down just a little bit. We get the heals to get that health that we could have with Sims. And you could either take a speed boost or the AA defense. At tier 6, you're going to be coming up against a lot of carriers. So I choose the defensive AA. I could see the argument for engine boost. All right, both would be just fine. Just like I could see people running Sims on it or double detection because it has a heal. For hit points, you have 64,000 hit health. All right, we got 64. 16,400 health. Sorry, guys, not feeling the best. Um, you do have the five fantastic uh, 5-inch guns. Go out to 10.6. The reload is absolutely crazy at 3.1, along with the turret verse at 3 point or 5.3. That's why, you guys, I'm running perceptive. The guns already turn so quick that having the little damage part or the damage reduction is helpful, right? Again, another reason I don't need Sims on it, just for me. Torpedoes, because in Kid is has better AA. It takes off one of the torpedo launchers, and they're not the greatest torpedoes, but they are helpful, and they are usable when you run a little bit less detection. They go out to 640. You have 5 of them. They reload in about 2 minutes, and they hit for 1,500. So not amazing torps by any standards, but still usable. AA defense for tier 6 destroyer, pretty solid, right? You have a lot over 3.5, so it's a big thing for a destroyer. If you're getting messed up by a carrier, Kid is a good option at tier 6 to play, especially if you want to mess up some tier 5 destroyers with that defensive 8 or tier 5 carriers with that defensive AA. Maneuverability, 38 knots, 620 turning circle, 3.9 rudder or 4.3 rudder. Concealment on this build is 5.2. Stats I'm not going to show you because I think I only have the one game, and you guys are going to see it. Armor is a destroyer. Don't take any unnecessary shots if you don't need to.
Teammate, I need your support. Enemy force detected. Concentrate fire on the designated target.
As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player, not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, we are trying not to get hunted down by Prince Eugen here, and we're trying to track that other destroyer. I don't have much help. Our team kind of bailed on us over here. So, to start with, I need to make sure I hold my own on this side. And you can, with two caps on one side like this, a lot of times, you'll see this on a lot of maps. You can dictate the match just by controlling the two caps a lot of ways. So Jervis gets himself spotted. It takes us a second to turn over to him, but once we get our beat on this guy, that's the one thing about Kid is it is a gunboat at its purest. When you get a beat on somebody, another destroyer, it does in fact have the DPM. That is just insane. It's got very good DPM. It definitely lacks torpedoes, but it excels at taking out other destroyers. As you can see here, we took out 2/3 of his health, and we had some help at the very end there. So pretty solid. And we smoke up after Prince Eugen shoots, thinking something would spot it. Nothing spotting it, sadly. And even though he shoots, I was hoping he got spotted here again. He don't, so you're going to see I'm go full bore ahead. I don't want to be the crude destroyer that just sits in his smoke. Like a U.S. destroyer that sits in his smoke, not helping his team. But then he gets spotted, so I decide, hey, I'm going to throw some shells his way. I was going to go out and spot. Don't be the guy that just sits in the smoke and then as a destroyer. And clearly, even though our team kind of bailed on us, they are helping. So kudos to the team for being aware of what's going on here. We have a pretty solid team. This isn't going to be a very long match. But for what it is, you guys are going to get a good showcase of the ship. Like, we already murdered a destroyer pretty quickly. And it wasn't a bad destroyer. It was Jervis. I like Jervis. Jervis, one of my favorite destroyers at the tier. We're going to go ahead and try to take a couple pop shots here before we go behind the island. And I'm going for the cap, right? We got rid of the destroyer. Now it's about cap control. And as you guys can see down there about how much the heal can heal, we already used one of them. And we're going to go ahead and push up into this cap. Again, it's a Fletcher. I didn't have to really figure out how to play this ship. It's a Fletcher with short torpedoes, really. Which is nothing wrong with it. It's strong. I don't think it's nearly as strong as like Storm Lantern or Orkin, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's a pretty good ship. But there's a lot of good tier 6 destroyers, to be quite honest with you. And I always sound pretty optimistic because I like a lot of ships. So take that for what it is. Now I see Rodney, and instead of picking on Prince Eugen, we're going to go pick on this Rodney. And this is another reason, even though this is going to be a quick match and maybe not the biggest damage or XP match ever, it's going to be a good showcase, right? You get a lot of battleships sitting. We're at tier 7 too. This is a good showcase that this ship can hold its own even at the tier. And Rodney's just kind of sitting there, unsuspecting of what's about to come his way, right? We only have 5 torpedoes, but because of our detection, we could get pretty close in. We drop him, and he's not moving. And I'm just kind of laughing in my head. Another destroyer gets spotted. We're going to go ahead and shoot our guns and take him out. It's ship does really well. So we take out our second destroyer here. Obviously, our team did a big chunk of him. And Prince Eugen is, in fact, looking at us now, too, or will be. And we almost step strike Rodney here. So even though it only has 5 torpedoes, you can still use them, guys. That's kind of why I still wanted the detection a little bit, because this ship is kind of unique in the fact it's American just tier 6 destroyer with a heal. Pretty kind of cool. I mean, you kind of don't need sims and you can take the extra detection. Honestly, I make the argument for the double detection anyway on a lot of ships, but it doesn't really matter on this ship. Hard to go wrong on it. It's pretty solid. Now we're just being dumb here, and in my daily dumb Dave moment, I'm going to run into an island because I do dumb stuff sometimes. I'm not the best player in the world, guys. I make mistakes. Also, I know that at this point that this match is already over. Like, we're 7.5 minutes in. We have the cap lead. We have all 4 caps. We have 2 destroyers. We have the ship count by a kajillion. We have the point count by a kajillion. You know, real quick match, but a good showcase here. And I'm just going to be obnoxious here for a second and just go dark, even though we know Eugen's trying to charge in on me. And then we're going to load AP once he gives up and starts to worry about our cruiser. And we're going to drop more torpedoes out just because we don't want him to charge us when we start shooting our guns and go into our smoke. Because this time we actually do have some spotting. And you're going to see our guns against the broadside cruiser, once I actually learn how to aim and not be a moron, are going to be just fine. As you can see, our DPM is just fine. And instead of charging us and eating our torps, he's going to turn away and he's going to just run away. But in the process of doing that, he's going to shoot his guns, which is kind of a mistake. But honestly here, match is already done. We're going to hit the limit before these last 3 ships go down. So it could have been a really crazy game, a really good game, but, you know, for what it was, 7 or so minutes, we showed what we did. We got rid of 2 destroyers, we capped a base, we spotted a little bit for our team, kind of did all the things you want to do in it. A good showcase of the guns, because the guns are pretty strong on this for tier 6. Like DPM, as always with Americans, if you get your hold of, well, you don't have all the bells and whistles of sonars and radars, you have the DPM when you get a hold of somebody. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time, folks.